How can a vocal artist like, say, Taylor Swift perform a 3-hour show, much less a worldwide tour, and not lose their voice? Former professional singer here. It takes some training, technique, and practice. You learn to sing from your diaphragm rather than your throat. Proper breathing is important as well. Also, your overall health is important, so your body can rest and heal from one day to the next. What you eat and drink before your performance matters as well as what you consume afterwards. And when you get to the level of Taylor Swift, you've got vocal coaches and therapists on tour with you to make sure you're in top form night after night after night. What I've heard from actual singers is that a big part of learning to sing is making it easier on your body. You don't wreck yourself after 5 minutes. Pop singers who use microphones aren't even the most impressive examples. Imagine an opera singer who has to sing over the top of a loud orchestra for several hours without any electronic assistance. It's not easy, but they spend years training to do this. And there are established vocal techniques that make it possible. Training equipment does a lot, but it's also something they think about when planning. An obvious example is Olivia Rodrigo has the lights go out and asks the crowd to scream on All American Bitch. The artists also use backing tracks. Backup singers order the songs carefully to space out the more vocally intense ones, swap notes, etc. I've also heard that Taylor specifically does full vocal rest on show days. Though not the same. I was seeing a classical pianist for a time and a friend asked her how she warmed up. She just simply cracked her knuckles backstage. Unfortunately, that relationship fizzled out because my idiot friend put a Pez dispenser on our other friend's leg during the recital, causing her to laugh. The girl I was seeing was not pleased. I watched Taylor last month, and it was very obvious she wasn't singing live for at least 80% of her set. It's not even a knock on her because I wouldn't expect her to sing 3-hour sets every day for a week. I also had the pleasure to watch Bruno Mars yesterday, and it was 100 or him. Really made me like him more because he is a joy to watch. In an interview about preparing for the tour, Taylor said that she is basically in vocal rest anytime she isn't on stage. I'm sure she also has specialist team to help keep her voice healthy. She is known for performing while sick as well and rarely cancels show, so I would imagine she is pretty regimented about taking care of her voice. I watched this video years ago of the most unassuming woman who is a vocal coach for death metal singers. Those are the ones who really need to protect their vocal cords. It's an interesting watch. I have a friend who is an ultra-marathon runner. She can run over 100 kilometers through mountains in a day. Meanwhile, I get winded running across a football pitch. The difference is conditioning. People at that level work hard, practice, and build themselves up to perform at that level. Professionals learn how to sing from their diaphragm, and that will keep them from screwing up their vocal cords. She probably also has to relax and take care of her voice when she's not on stage. Like others have said, she's a professional and she knows what she's doing. With good technique, but even then, they indeed can and do injure their voice. Many examples of fantastic famous singers like Adele, for example, incurring performance injuries due to the demands of constant touring. I used to be an opera singer and would often sing for 6 hours a day, 6 days a week. You need good technique, but you also build endurance just like an athlete. Warm up and cool down are also crucial. Taylor definitely takes breaks during the shows. The last great American dynasty, for example. I gave up after the first 5 or 6 shows, but the tracks are all the exact same down to the inflections. They have strict vocal regime and have vocal coach. I think many of these artists did reveal they don't talk or sing for the rest of the day before and after the concert. How can professional football players get hit for hours and not be dead on the ground? It's practice, dude. They train their whole lives for it. I don't know how he does it, but wanted to acknowledge Bruce Springsteen here, who goes hard for 3 straight hours and has done for 50 years. Vocal muscles are similar to running muscles. They're built for endurance. As long as the technique is solid, they can go for a long time. Good technique, good vocal hygiene and care. Sleep, diet, hydration, rest, And maybe a little smoke and mirrors during the concert, similar to how an Amazon warehouse worker can stand on their feet all day putting address labels on boxes for hours on end. Practice. They are professionals and trained to do so. I think Adele had to quit or take a break because she messed up her vocal cords. Vocal warm-ups. Resting their voices. Not hitting high or low notes during concerts. Simple songs first. Because she's barely human. It's the same with Beyoncé. She always has this dead look in her eyes. Swift apparently trains by doing her whole set while running on a treadmill.